Inflation is a rise in the general level of prices in an economy or an increase in economic price level. When inflation occurs, each dollar of income buys fewer goods and services than before. The effect of inflation, however, can reduce the purchasing power of money, but inflation does not mean all prices are rising. Even during the period of rapid inflation, some prices may be relatively constant, while others may fall. Sudan is a country in Northeast Africa. While historically agriculture remained the main source of income and employment of over 80% of Sudanese and make up a third of economic sector, but oil production drove most of Sudan post-2000 growth. In 2010, Sudan was considered 17th fastest growing economy in the world, and it's largely because of oil profit, but because of the independence of South Sudan from Sudan in July 2011, of which contains 75% of Sudan oil field. This caused Sudan to enter a phase of stagflation ever since. Now, Sudan has become one of the most hungriest nations in the world. It has become the most corrupted nation in the world, and is ranked 167 in human development.
Both show the inflation rate of Sudan in 5 years. As we can see, in 2020 it started increase. This is because of their political issues and economic crisis. The highest inflation rate was recorded in 2020, which is 412%. However, it started decrease because of Sudan's government start implement the method such as fiscal policy to reduce their inflation rate.
Now I would like to talk about the issue that is related towards Sudan inflation rate. There is 4 main issues that is related towards Sudan inflation rate. First is the political tension and instability in Sudan. Since the military coup in October 2021, Sudan has been run by a council of generals. In July 2022, given heightened public distrust of the military, the de facto Sudanese head of state announced that he would withdraw from political talks and support the formation of technocratic cabinets. Other than that, there is also an ongoing intercommunal violence in Sudan. This resulted in conflict that has caused further displacement and insecurity in border region of Sudan. Following that, there is also climate change that is increasing the frequency of extreme weather. The unusual heavy rains have also given way to the worst desert locust infestation seen across the Horn of Africa in decades. This resulted in the loss of crops and also rising in food price, which impacted a lot of Sudanese people and make it difficult for them to provide food for their families. Last but not least is the deepening economic crisis that is happening in Sudan. Sudan is facing a multitude of economic pressure. First is that they are having a high inflation rate. Second is a very extremely low of foreign reserve. And lastly, the international community suspension of foreign debt relief programs.
Has a significant number of impact on their country. Here are several impacts. The first one is transitional government. The second one, ongoing intercommunal violence. And the third one, purchasing power is decreased. Transitional government. A transitional administration made up of civilian and military members was put in place after al-Bashir was overthrown with the intention of transferring the power to the civilian, which have slowed development and increased instability. The second one, ongoing intercommunal violence. Ongoing intercommunal violence in Sudan has had a significant impact on the country as exacerbating existing tension and hindering effort towards stability development. Here are some key points regarding the impact of intercommunal violence. The first one, humanitarian crisis. The country will lack access to needs such as water, shelter, food. The second one is impediment to development. Because of the ongoing violence, the atmosphere is unstable, which makes it challenging for companies to run and for communities to recover. Purchasing power decrease effect treating animal products. Animal products are under heavy pressure due to high production costs and weak purchasing power, which threaten to leave a large number of products out of the production cycle. Second one is crop market. Crop market, several merchants complain about weak commercial movement and lack of interest among the public to buy. The third one is travel. The head of a travel business association thought that many travel companies are in danger for going out of business after suffering heavy losses.
One of the solution of the issue is Sudan government initiate economic reform. The government underwent International Monetary Fund monitored economic reform, including the removal of fuel subsidies and devaluation of the currency. This is in order to attract foreign assistance and investment. Then this caused in 2021, inflation in Sudan finally decreased for the first time under its 2 years old transitional government, as the currency shows sign of stabilizing following a year of tough economic reform. As a result, inflation sharply reduced from 400% in July to 300% in August, ending a trend of steep monthly increase that have brought inflation to a level that not the political solution in Sudan, which is to restore credible and fully functioning civilian-led government. This idea is given by Volker Perthes, who is the special representative of the Secretary General and head of the United Nations UNITAMS. The role of the UNITAMS is by either bridging in different programs together, developing bridging proposal, or eventually facilitating and mediating and helping implement an agreement with the military of Sudan. This action must be taken seriously, as the military of Sudan is withdrawing from the politics of the country.
We can also recommend Sudan to use fiscal policy as a method to reduce their inflation. Under fiscal policy, there's 3 methods that can be taken. First is to reduce the government spending. Second is to increase the tax, and third is to use price control. By reducing the government spending, the Sudan's government can reduce the fiscal deficit and also can ease the pressure of inflation. Other than that, Sudan can also increase their taxes so that they can get additional revenue to be used as a fund for their essential services and to reduce the inflationary pressure. Lastly, Sudan can also use price control. By using price control, Sudan can control the price of services and goods from being excessively increased.
Sudan has faced a high inflation rate caused by various factors, including economic mismanagement, economic crisis, political issue, and so on, which has led to a depreciation of the Sudanese pound. Therefore, Sudan is required to take an action such as fiscal, government-initiated economic reform, political solution to improve their economy, to fix and improve their economy. That's all from us. Thank you for listening.